Guatemala doesn't rush to impress you, and that's the first thing that makes it unsettling, because the moment you arrive you realize this is a country that doesn't care how fast you move, how tight your schedule is, or how many expectations you brought with you. It simply exists at its own pace beneath a skyline dominated not by glass towers, but by volcanoes that breathe quietly in the distance, reminders that this land has always lived under forces far greater than politics or tourism, and from the very first step onto its soil, you feel that life here is shaped by waiting, by watching, by adapting, not by conquering, because Guatemala is a place where time stretches and contracts depending on rain, ash, harvest and memory. And to understand it, you have to let go of the idea that progress is linear or that beauty comes without consequence, because here, beauty is inseparable from danger, and daily life unfolds in the shadow of mountains that can wake up without warning, mountains that have destroyed cities, fed civilizations and rewritten history over and over again, starting long before the modern nation existed, when the Maya built one of the most advanced civilizations in the world on volcanic soil, aligning cities with the stars, shaping calendars that measured time with astonishing precision, and understanding this land not as something to tame, but something to listen to, something to negotiate with. And that relationship still defines Guatemala today, even if the language has changed. Because as you move through the highlands and lowlands, through dense markets and quiet villages, you begin to notice that life here flows around obstacles rather than through them, that plans are flexible by necessity, that patience is not a virtue but a survival skill, and that resilience is woven into the ordinary moments tourists rarely notice, like the way farmers read the sky before planting corn, or how families rebuild homes again and again after earthquakes without drama or applause, or how entire towns relocate when volcanoes demand more space, because Guatemala's story is not one of domination over nature, but coexistence with it. Sometimes peaceful, sometimes violent, always humbling, and nowhere is this more visible than in places like Antigua, a city frozen in postcard perfection, yet built on the ruins of multiple destructions, where churches stand roofless from past earthquakes and cobblestone streets carry the weight of centuries, not as museum pieces, but as living reminders that permanence is an illusion. And as travelers sip coffee beneath colorful facades, local families continue routines shaped by generations who learned that nothing here is guaranteed except change. And moving beyond Antigua, the landscape opens into valleys and mountains where villages cling to hillsides and roads twist unpredictably, sometimes disappearing entirely after storms, reinforcing the reality that movement in Guatemala is never just about distance, it's about conditions. And that reality seeps into every part of life, shaping how people measure time, how they value community, how they respond to uncertainty. And as you reach Lake Atitlán, often called one of the most beautiful lakes in the world, the contradiction sharpens, because while the water reflects volcanoes so perfectly they seem unreal, the communities around the lake navigate complex realities of limited infrastructure, economic imbalance, and cultural preservation, where indigenous traditions remain deeply rooted not as performance, but as continuity, expressed through language, clothing, and rituals that tie people to ancestry in a world that increasingly rewards forgetting and watching daily life unfold here. Fishermen pushing boats into the lake before sunrise, women weaving patterns that tell stories without words, children walking long paths to school. You begin to understand that Guatemala's pace is not slow, it is deliberate, shaped by lessons learned the hard way, especially during the decades of civil war that fractured the country and left wounds that still influence trust, silence, and memory. Particularly in rural regions where entire communities were erased and rebuilt in secrecy, where survival once depended on knowing when not to speak. And even today, there are conversations that pause when strangers approach, not from hostility but habit, a quiet echo of history that lingers in the air, shaping how Guatemala reveals itself gradually rather than all at once. And as you travel deeper into the countryside, away from curated experiences and familiar comforts, the illusion of control fades, replaced by a raw honesty that forces you to confront what it means to live with uncertainty as a constant companion. Because here, unpredictability is not a failure of systems, it is a condition of geography, and people respond not with panic, but with adaptability, with cooperation, with humor even, because when volcanoes, earthquakes, and political instability are part of the background, perspective shifts and the small inconveniences that dominate other lives lose their grip. And it's around this point in the journey, somewhere between admiration and humility, that it's worth saying this. If you're enjoying traveling through Guatemala in this way, if this story is pulling you in and making you see the world a little differently, go ahead and like the video, subscribe to the channel, and hit the bell notification so you don't miss future journeys. It takes about 2 seconds and requires far less effort than hiking a volcano at sunrise, trust me. And as the journey continues, the influence of Guatemala's rhythm becomes undeniable, because even visitors begin to slow down, not out of laziness but alignment, learning to wait for buses that leave when they're ready, to accept that schedules bend, that plans dissolve, and the presence matters more than efficiency. And this shift becomes most apparent in rural villages where electricity may flicker. But storytelling remains strong, where elders pass down history orally, preserving memory, not in textbooks but in lived experience, and where tradition endures, not because it's profitable, but because it works, anchoring identity in a world that keeps trying to accelerate beyond human limits. And food here carries the same philosophy, built around corn, beans, and flavors that stretch back thousands of years, blending indigenous knowledge with Spanish influence into meals that nourish both body and continuity. And as days pass, it becomes clear that Guatemala does not perform itself for outsiders. It exists independently of attention, indifferent to trends, algorithms, or expectations. And that indifference is part of its power, because it forces you to engage honestly, to see beauty without filtering out hardship, to appreciate resilience without romanticizing struggle. And that balance is difficult, especially when confronted with inequality. When you notice how tourism benefits some communities while bypassing others entirely, when you see how cameras capture volcanoes, but rarely the systems that shape who thrives and who survives. And yet, despite these contradictions, Guatemala moves forward cautiously, deliberately, shaped by history that refuses to stay buried but also refuses to define the future completely. And standing on the slopes of Acatenango, watching Volcán de Fuego erupt rhythmically in the distance, lava glowing against the night sky like a pulse, it becomes impossible not to feel small in the best way, because witnessing that kind of power resets your priorities, reminding you that control is temporary and humility is permanent. And as the final stretch of the journey approaches, walking through markets filled with color and noise, through cloud forests where mist erases the horizon, through towns where life unfolds with quiet determination beneath towering peaks, the central truth of Guatemala emerges clearly. This is a country that teaches you to live with uncertainty without fear, to accept contradiction without denial, and to move forward without needing guarantees. And before we reach the end, this feels like the right moment to pause one last time. If this journey has shifted your perspective even slightly, if it's made you rethink what progress, beauty, or resilience really mean, now's your chance to like the video, subscribe, and hit the bell notification so you don't miss what comes next. I can't promise every destination will have volcanoes, but I can promise every story will leave a mark. And Guatemala, in the end, doesn't offer neat conclusions or simple answers. It offers perspective, showing us that life doesn't need to move fast to move forward, that beauty can exist alongside danger, and that resilience is often quiet, practiced daily by people who wake up beneath smoking mountains and choose again and again to stay, to rebuild, and to keep living anyway.